This right here is a Instagram page called Black Billionaires. Okay, and I like what they post. I'm not gonna lie. It keeps me up to date with certain things. And yeah, so this one I thought was interesting. So basically, they're talking about the average new car price skyrockets to 50,000, a record high. Data shows. Okay, so the average price of a new car in the U.S. has surpassed $50,000, setting a new record and signaling growing financial strain for car buyers. According to Kelly Blue Book, the average transaction price in September reached $50,080, the first time the number has crossed that milestone. Analysts say the rise is being fueled by combustion by a combination of electric vehicle demands, import tariffs, wealthier consumers dominating the market. Today's auto market is being driven by households with greater access to capital and favorable loan rates, said blah blah blah. And she added that a strong mix of high-end vehicles and EVs have pushed pricing into uncharted territory. Yeah, that's pretty much true. So basically, as the currency becomes devalued, things will go up in price, and we're going to need more of said currency in order to buy certain things. Okay, and that's what it is. We're having inflation in car prices, and because of just the value of the currency, right? The value of the currency, car prices are also increasing, and not just that, right? Also, you have wealthy people who are able to again purchase certain cars and things of that nature, and there's also driving up the price for these things, right? And there's not just wealthy people. There's people who don't understand how to leverage their debt position better. They think that because they can get a loan for 50,000, 60,000, they should get this car, right? And the more you're doing these things, you're literally making these companies push the boundaries and boundaries even more, because they're seeing like, hey, these people don't care if the price is 50,000. These people don't care if the price is 60,000. They're just gonna keep getting loans and loans and loans. And just they're gonna try to pay it in an installment. They're gonna pay $1,000 a month for their car. Like they notice that you guys don't care, so they increase the price of these brand new cars to the sky. They increase the price of them to the sky, and then next thing you know, in a year or two, the price is like half. It's half the price, and that happens literally with a lot of these vehicles that come out, and they're like they come out. These new vehicles come out. They're $80,000, right? But then you look at the 2023 version, and it's like 40,000, right? With like 20,000 miles. So don't be fooled by these tactics of making the vehicles more expensive. They are actually purposefully making the vehicles more expensive, and it could also be for it's two things, right? The parts of the vehicles are becoming more expensive, right? Due to, I would say, tariffs and other things, right? Having to pay people more, tariffs, things like that. The parts of them are becoming more expensive, but then also don't be surprised if a lot of these companies are just shooting for the stars and just making their cars more expensive in general, right? Because they know that you all are stupid enough to get $80,000, $70,000 loans, $60,000 loans on your vehicle, but you only make $100,000 a year. That is stupid, So don't be like that, right? If you man, I remember when I got my Dodge in 2022, it was like 23,000. I got it I got like an old one too. It was like a not really an old one. It was only like a year or two old, and it was like 23,000 with 20,000 miles. Easy for me to make the payments. Easy for me to finish paying off the car. I didn't want anything above $30,000. I didn't want anything above $30,000 at all. I didn't even want anything above $25,000. You know what I'm saying? Because I know myself, and the car was a good car. and it very reliable. To this day, the car's at 91,000 miles, and it's still running strong. It still hasn't. I've only had to fix it like one or two times in the last like 5 years. So you don't have to go in and try to buy the new car. You don't have to go in and try to buy a car that costs 50,000, 40,000 because you're looking at the payment of the car, the installment of the car. Because I'm telling you, over time, it's gonna add up. You don't know what can happen in the future, right? You don't know if you're gonna have your job in the future. Do you really want to make $1,000 car payment? Like there's rent in some places that are $1,000. You know that, right? So why would you want to make $1,000 car payment? Are you gonna live in your car? Maybe you might live in your car. You may end up living in your car. So don't do things like that. 50,000 to me is outrageous for a car. Unless you got money like that. If you got money like that, then go ahead. I'm talking about money like $1 million, 500,000. Go ahead. But there's always a limit. There's always a limit. Right now I don't have a car loan. I paid my car off. I'm driving scot free. Yeah, my car's at 91,000, but that's giving me no issues. No issues. I'm scot free. I'm not in the system. The system want me to come back in it. And guess what? I'm not coming back in it for now. And then another like couple years when I rack up the millies, I might buy. You know what I'm saying? I might buy a car. But look, yeah, man. So so please, guys, I'm telling you, just chill, bro. Just chill. You don't need that car. You don't. Just chill. I understand we want to look fancy. We want something to make us happy. I know we worked hard. We want something to make us happy. But happiness comes from within. Okay? Happiness comes from within you. And you show that to the world. You don't need to have stuff to be happy. You can spoil yourself in small ways. Maybe get this cologne you like. Spray it on yourself. Maybe get this perfume you like. This little handbag, this trinket. Maybe get these shoes you like. Okay? One-time buy. No installment. Unless you're doing what other stuff that you should not be doing. So again, it's reached 50,000, which is diabolical. It's diabolical. But we should all try our best to just make sure we're not putting ourselves into things that we don't need to be doing, okay? Life is already getting more expensive as it is. Prices for insurance is rising, right? Prices for meals and food is going up, right? They're coming out with you paying installments for everything. You're paying an installment plan to watch Netflix. You're paying a subscription plan to watch this for this. You're paying all these subscriptions. You got your Apple subscription for your cloud. You got your Google Cloud subscription. You got your YouTube. You got your app. You got all these subscriptions that's taking 10, 15, 30, this, that, and that from your pocket, guys. So don't let something else come in and rob you. Don't let anything rob you. I'm not gonna lie, we don't need all this stuff. You can look at what you're spending your money on and just try to limit it. I'm not gonna lie, try to limit it. Okay? So try to limit it and then use what you got and start a business. You do something that can potentially bring you more money. Do a side gig, anything. It's okay. No one's perfect. No one's gonna laugh at you. And if they do laugh at you, who cares? Who cares about them? You should be an individual that doesn't mind being laughed at, because at the end of the day, you're trying to make your life better. You're trying to make your life better. It doesn't care. Who cares about what these people are? You don't have to try to posture for people. You don't. Do what you got to do. If people laugh at you, that's their problem. If you want to make content, make your content. If you drive an Uber Eats, drive Uber Eats. I'm a whole software developer, and I was driving Uber Eats. I did. I was still driving Uber Eats. What's somebody going to tell me? I was driving Uber Eats at one point because I wanted to make more money, because my bills was a little bit too high. Now I've re-strategized. Now I'm okay now. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I'm going to let no one laugh at me, make me look like a fool, Or even if they do, I don't even care, because I got to do what I got to do to survive. So, again, guys, you don't need that car. Trust me, you don't. You don't need the car that's $50,000. You don't need the car that's $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. No. Get yourself a $20,000 car with like 20,000, with 20,000, 30,000 miles. Rock with that car, man, and just live your life, because the payment's gonna be like what, four something. You can do that somewhat, and you know that's better than 700, 800. Because then you gotta also think about insurance and then vehicle having problems. Like I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Okay, guys. So that's all I want to talk about today. I really appreciate you all for coming and enjoying the stream with me. I will be back very, very soon. I love you all. Peace.